So this is the S21 Ultra, and let's see how it did in this 30 days of usage. For those who are asking, this is the front camera. I'm recording at 4K 60 FPS, so I think it's a little bit stabilized, and I'm walking right now, just normal walking, and this is a sunny day, so pretty sunny actually. So you can see right now, just very sunny, and it's a little bit uncomfortable to record like this because the phone is very slippery, but this is actually the S21 Ultra, and let's see how it did in this 30 days of usage. Hey, what's up? It's always me, Johnny, and today we are gonna talk about again, and probably for the last time for now, of the S21 Ultra, and we are gonna check if in 30 days it's changed something on this phone, especially if they have resolved all the problems with the Exynos version of this phone. So before talking about that, let's do a small recap of this phone and the things that I like the most and still I like now, and they didn't get like boring in the time. And so we talk about design, of course, because this phone is actually one of the best design, I think, in the smartphone of 2021. And actually I like this color because it's of course matte black and it's awesome. And actually the work that they've done with the cameras, so the camera bump right here is just one thing with the body, and it's very cool to see. And as I said before, it's not the same as the other phones that they are making. I think the other companies are making all the new smartphones, they are all similar, and when you see one of those smartphones you can see that they are all the same, and it's kind of boring design. I mean, they are making phone on phones and they are all the same, and this S21 Ultra, it's just a little bit different than those, and it's actually pretty good, and it still is. Then talking about camera, and here I have one pro and one cons that I have to say about the camera. But first I'm gonna say the pro, so the positive things, and actually after I will say the negatives. And so watch all the video to see the negatives too, because they are very important. And the positive things are actually the cameras themselves, because as I said in probably all of my videos, so the multiple cameras are actually very good. And I don't mean the only and actually the super wide angle and just the wide and maybe the depth sensor that I think nobody used. I mean the telephoto and the two telephoto cameras, because you have pretty much all the angles that you could get with a phone, and this comes very handy to use this phone in every situation, because you can shoot from every angle for sure. And actually you can take also maybe some moonshot, as you can see it right now. And I think this thing is only doable for only a few phones, and this is one of them. So I don't think that I could probably get used to another phone that doesn't have this type of cameras. And also here the quality is very good. So we will see in the future of the smartphones what phone could come out with this type of cameras, and maybe some phones that could take like better photos with better quality and stuff like that, but we will see. Also talking about something that probably not most of the phones have, there is speakers that you may say, yes, speakers, they are on every phones, and actually most of the phones now have dual speaker, if you are talking about of course like top phones. But these speakers are very loud, and you have to try it, because yes, I can show it to you right now. I mean, you can listen to my microphone, but it doesn't look and it doesn't feel realistic. So you have to trust me, and the speakers here are very loud. And actually I've never heard these loud speakers on every other phone that I've tried right now. Then of course we have the most easy part that Samsung wins every time, and it's of course the display, because this one is one of the best display on the market, and I think it still is one of the best. I've heard that some other smartphones just have a good display, like similar to this, but still haven't tried, like the Xiaomi Mi 11. But as I said, still haven't tried that because here where I live still haven't come out, and I'm waiting for the global version. So we will try that when it comes out. And actually for now I can say that this one is one of the best for sure. Actually I don't like too much curved display. I prefer like flat display for usage of every day, but I can feel that the curved display it's looking way better on the design for this phone. And of course in the display we have the fingerprint sensor, and it is of course an under display fingerprint sensor, and it's not optic like most of the phones, but it is supersonic, and it is for real supersonic because it's really fast and it's working pretty much every time. In 30 days that I have this phone, it didn't miss any of my unlocks, so I think I can give it like 10 out of 10 because, as I said, never misses and actually super fast. So one more thing that nobody talks about on this phone is actually the capabilities of using the Samsung DeX. And if you don't know what it is, Samsung DeX is actually a desktop, maybe we can say, version of your phone, and actually you can connect it to your computer with wirelessly, or maybe with the cable, or maybe just with the HDMI. Because if you have the phone and if you have like an adapter like this with a Type-C and an HDMI on the front, you can just connect it to your monitor and just use the phone as a PC, and actually your phone becomes your actual computer. And it's very useful because sometimes, you know, you don't want to turn on your PC, maybe you have to just watch some videos, but you don't want to use your computer. I don't know, you can use it as you want, but it's there. And actually I think only Samsung does offer that feature in the smartphone world, so I mean, I'll take it. But now enough for the positive stuff, let's go for the no bueno stuff. So the first thing that I'm gonna say on this phone, and actually I have to say something before telling you this, and actually I have, as you may know, the Exynos version of the S21 Ultra, and it is bad. I mean, it can compare to the Snapdragon version, but it's still another world. I mean, the Snapdragon is more reliable. They have like solid performance, solid battery consuming, and all the stuff that rotate around the SoC in your phone. And actually one of the two main problem that this phone has, of course, is related to the processor, as I said. So the SoC, so the battery is affected by this SoC, so the Exynos, because I still haven't got any day on this phone with 6 or 7 hours of screen time. So I think this is pretty bad for a phone like this, and actually for a battery like this, because I had in the past some phone with the same batteries, but they last very much longer. And this one, I mean, you can't compare it to the other phones. And I mean, yes, the performance are there with the Exynos. They are just a little bit under the Snapdragon, and this is very good because this year Samsung Exynos, I mean, it just did a big leap forward to the performance side against the Snapdragon, but it still isn't here. I mean, if you consider also all the updates that this phone has received, they have released like several updates since the release date of this phone, but still I think it isn't like in the same level of Snapdragon. And actually the second bad thing that it's been affected by this Exynos is actually the cameras, because you may know that the camera performance are just, yes, controlled, we can say, by the SoC. And actually the quality of the camera, of course, depends on the camera sensor and the camera lenses and stuff like that, but the most of the work is done by the SoC, and so the Exynos. And the processing on the camera is not very good. I mean, I've seen several videos on YouTube with the comparison between this and the Snapdragon version, and I think it's not really a comparison because this one, it's looking like another phone. I mean, if you see the comparison, and especially in the night shots, if you talk about photos or mostly videos, I mean, they are not the same level at all. And I think this is a bad thing, because the last bad point, of course, is the price. And if I'm paying the price of the same Snapdragon version, but I have like less performance and mostly less camera performance, when this phone is just, I think, like thought to just be a camera phone, and we have these differences in performance for the camera side, I think it isn't worth it. I don't know if they are releasing other updates for the camera. I mean, they are right now, and I think the last updates, it was like a week ago, but after several updates, as I said, the situation is pretty much the same. They just didn't got anywhere, at least for my version, so for my unit of the smartphone. And I think this is a bad thing, because as I said, if I'm paying this much for a phone like this, I'm expecting like high performance in every field of the phone. And so I think these are my 2 cents on this phone. So this is my conclusion. Let me know down in the comments what you think about that. And actually, if you have like Exynos version or Snapdragon, and let me know if you noticed these differences that I've mentioned in this video. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching this video. So that's been it. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.